Welcome back to the rarest coins. Today's video is going to blow your mind. We're taking a deep dive into the world of rare quarters and talking about a specific coin that most people overlook, the 1968 Washington quarter. Now, you might think it's just another old quarter worth 25 cents. But believe it or not, one version of this coin has been valued at an astonishing $1.8 million. That's right. A simple coin from 1968 that might be sitting in a drawer or pocket somewhere could actually be a small fortune in disguise. In this video, we're going to look at the history of the 1968 quarter, why it's important in US coinage, what makes some versions extremely valuable, and how to check if the coin you have might be the one worth nearly $2 million. Let's get into it. The history of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter series began in 1932. Introduced as a one-year commemorative to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. But due to its popularity and strong design, it became a permanent part of U.S. coinage. The original design featured George Washington's profile on the front, designed by John Flanagan. The reverse, up until 1998, showcased an eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows above olive branches, symbolizing strength and peace. Fast forward to 1968. This was a pivotal year in American coinage. Just 3 years earlier, in 1965, the United States Mint had removed silver from dimes and quarters due to rising silver prices and the increasing cost of minting. So, the 1968 quarter was part of the new generation of coins made from a copper-nickel clad composition, rather than the traditional 90% silver used before 1965. The details of the 1968 quarter. Let's break down the coin itself. The 1968 Washington quarter was minted in 3 locations. The Philadelphia Mint, which produced coins with no mint mark; the Denver Mint, marked with a small "dan"; the San Francisco Mint, which in 1968 only produced proof coins for collectors, marked with an S. Most of these coins, especially the ones from Philadelphia and Denver, were heavily circulated. Today, in average condition, they are worth only face value. However, under the right conditions, some of them can be worth thousands, and in an extremely rare case, up to $1.8 million. The $1.8 million 1968 quarter, fact or fiction? So what's the story behind the coin reportedly worth $1.8 million? This jaw-dropping value comes from a combination of factors: extreme rarity, a unique minting error, and flawless condition. One such coin is believed to have been mistakenly struck on a 90% silver planchet left over from the pre-1965 production. This type of error is incredibly rare because by 1968, the U.S. Mint had already transitioned to using clad composition for all regular quarter production. If a silver planchet somehow remained in the system and was used by accident, it would produce a coin that looks similar to the normal version but weighs more and has a completely different metal composition. Add to that a flawless strike, 0 circulation marks, and authentication from a trusted grading company, and you have a coin that becomes a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, the kind that collectors would pay a fortune to own. That is exactly what makes the 1968 quarter so exciting. Most are common, but a few have the potential to be life-changing. How to spot a rare or valuable 1968 quarter. If you want to check your own 1968 quarters, here are some important steps you should follow. Number 1. Check for silver content. Use a sensitive coin scale. A regular 1968 clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. A silver quarter will weigh around 6.25 grams. If your coin weighs closer to the silver range, you might have a transitional error. Number 2. Examine the edge. Clad quarters have a visible copper-colored stripe on the edge, while silver quarters will be solid silver all the way through. Number 3. Check for any unusual mint errors. Look for double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or any other abnormalities. Double die errors are especially valuable if the doubling is strong and visible in the lettering or numbers. Number 4. Inspect the condition. Coins that have been graded mint state 67 or higher can fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars, especially if they are from low mintage years or have unique characteristics. And number 5. Don't forget about proof coins. In 1968, all proof coins came from the San Francisco Mint. If you find a 1968 S quarter in flawless proof condition, especially with cameo contrast between the frosted design and shiny background, it could be worth significantly more than face value. Value guide for 1968 quarters. Let's talk general value now. A typical 1968 quarter in circulated condition is worth around 25 cents. Uncirculated examples can range from $2 to $10 depending on grade and quality. High-grade specimens, especially those graded MS 66 or MS 67, can reach between $100 to several $100. Proof coins from 1968 with deep cameo features can fetch $25 to $50 or more depending on grade. But the real jackpot lies in rare mint error coins, especially silver transitional planchet errors, or double die varieties. These can be worth thousands. And in the rarest case, that nearly perfect silver error coin that was authenticated and auctioned, the value reached an unbelievable $1.8 million. Should you get your coin graded? If you believe you have something special, especially a coin with a possible error or unique weight, then yes, getting your coin graded is absolutely worth it. Use a reputable third-party service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate your coin, assign it a numeric grade, and encapsulate it in a protective holder. That increases its value and buyer confidence if you ever want to sell it. Final thoughts. The 1968 Washington quarter may not be the most famous coin in American history, but it holds incredible potential for collectors and lucky finders. Most are worth face value, but a small number are worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions. And the only way to find out is to look closely. So the next time you come across an old quarter, don't just toss it into a vending machine. Take a moment. Check the date. Weigh it. Look at the edge. You never know. It could be the one worth $1.8 million. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, hit that like button and make sure to subscribe for more content on rare coins, US currency, and valuable collectibles. Drop a comment below if you have a 1968 quarter or if there's another coin you want us to cover in a future episode. Until next time, keep checking your change and happy collecting. Outro music and end screen rolls. Let me know if you'd like me to tailor this into a short video script, add voiceover pacing, or break it down into segments for Reels or TikToks. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector, treasure hunter, or just someone who loves American history, you're in for a treat today. We're diving into one of the most talked about modern coins in the numismatic world, the 1993 D Washington quarter. That's right, a coin that most people would toss in a parking meter could actually be worth over $1 million in the right condition and with the right error. Sounds crazy? Stick around, because we're about to break it all down. History of the Washington quarter. First, let's rewind a little. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse features a profile of Washington, while the reverse originally showed an eagle with outstretched wings. The quarter has undergone a few design changes over the decades, but the basic concept stayed the same until the state quarters program kicked off in 1999. So in 1993, we were still seeing the classic eagle-back design, which makes these pre-1999 quarters part of the final years of the original series, the 1993 D Washington quarter. Now let's talk about the 1993 D quarter specifically. The D mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, which produced over 600 million of these coins in 1993. That's right, 600 million. So under normal circumstances, the 1993 D Washington quarter isn't rare at all. In circulated condition, most of these are only worth their face value, 25 cents. But here's where it gets exciting. The $1.2 million quarter. Is it real? You may have heard rumors or seen headlines about a 1993 D Washington quarter that sold or is valued at $1.2 million. Let's unpack that. First of all, yes, there are incredibly rare varieties and error coins that can be worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands. And in very special cases, coins have sold at auction for over $1 million. But for a 1993 D Washington quarter to be worth $1.2 million, it would have to be something truly exceptional. We're talking about a one-of-a-kind mint error, or perhaps a coin struck on the wrong planchet, with a double die obverse or reverse, or an unintentional experimental composition that somehow slipped through the minting process. One possible explanation for such a high value would be a coin struck on a silver planchet by mistake. That would be an extremely rare error for this year. Remember, regular 1993 quarters were made from a copper-nickel clad composition, not silver. If someone discovered a 1993 D quarter struck on a 90% silver planchet, and it was authenticated by a top-tier grading service like PCGS or NGC, that could skyrocket its value. Add in a pristine condition, a flawless MS 70 grade, and the value would rise even more. Then, if a high-profile collector or investor wanted that coin, the sky's the limit. How to know if you have a rare 1993 D quarter? So how do you know if you've struck gold, or in this case, silver, with your quarter? Here's what to look for. 1. Check the weight. A standard clad quarter weighs 5.67 grams. A silver quarter would weigh around 6.25 grams. If your 1993 D quarter is noticeably heavier, it could be struck on the wrong planchet point too. Look for mint errors, double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, or missing layers can all increase a coin's value significantly. Point 3. Check the edges. A normal 1993 D quarter will have a visible copper edge. If the edge is pure silver in color, you might have a silver planchet error. Point 4. Luster and condition. Coins in mint state, especially those graded MS 65 or higher, are worth more. If your coin has no wear and maintains that fresh from the mint shine, it's worth getting graded. Point 5. Get it authenticated. If you think you have something rare, don't guess. Send your coin to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. That's the only way to know for sure. And if it's the real deal, they'll protect it in a tamper-proof slab and list it in their population reports. Value of regular 1993 D quarters. Let's quickly talk about what a normal 1993 D quarter is worth. In circulated condition, it's still just 25 cents. In uncirculated mint state, they're worth a little more. Here's a breakdown. MS 60 to MS 63, between $1 and $3 MS 64, around $5 MS 65, $10 to $15 MS 66 or higher, $20 to $50 or more, depending on eye appeal and luster. If you find a coin with a rare mint error or it's an exceptionally high grade, especially if it's a top population coin, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands. Final thoughts. So is your 1993 D quarter worth $1.2 million? Probably not, but maybe. The odds are extremely low, but that's what makes the treasure hunt so exciting. One mistake at the US Mint, one unique error, one perfect condition coin, and suddenly a 25-cent piece becomes a life-changing payday. If you're going through your spare change or inherited a coin collection, always keep an eye out for the unexpected. Get a good scale, a magnifying glass, and learn how to spot mint errors. And when in doubt, reach out to experts or grading services. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful or interesting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin collecting tips, history, and hidden treasures in your pocket change. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you have a 1993 D quarter you're curious about. See you in the next one. Outro music and end screen. Would you like a version optimized for reading on camera with pauses and cues? Or would you prefer this converted into a blog post as well? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're uncovering the mystery behind a seemingly ordinary coin that might just be hiding a life-changing secret. I'm talking about the 1990 D Washington quarter, a coin that most people spend without thinking twice. But what if I told you that one version of this coin is worth an unbelievable $1.4 million? Yes, that's right. A 25-cent piece minted in Denver in 1990 could be worth over $1 million in the right condition, with the right characteristics and the right buyer. In this video, we'll explore the fascinating history of the 1990 D quarter, what makes it valuable, and how to check if the one in your pocket or coin jar might be the $1 million version. Let's jump right in. History of the Washington quarter. To really understand the 1990 D quarter, we need to take a quick look at the history of the Washington quarter series. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design, created by John Flanagan, features a left-facing bust of Washington on the obverse and an eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. That design remained in use for decades, all the way until the late 1990s, BY 1990, The Washington quarter had become one of the most familiar coins in American pockets. The coin had transitioned from silver to copper-nickel clad in 1965 due to rising silver prices. So by the time 1990 rolled around, all quarters in circulation were made of copper-nickel clad. Now here's the important part. Even though these coins were mass-produced and widely circulated, rare errors and certain minting anomalies from this year have made the 1990 D quarter an incredible find for collectors. The 1990 D quarter, common or rare? Let's get one thing straight. The Denver Mint struck over 927 million quarters in 1990. That's nearly 1 billion coins. So by default, the 1990 D Washington quarter is very common. Most of these coins today are only worth their face value, 25 cents, especially if they've been in circulation and show signs of wear. But, as any experienced collector knows, not all coins are created equal. Among those nearly 1 billion coins, there are a handful of error coins, high-grade specimens, and ultra-rare variants that are worth significantly more, and in one documented case, up to $1.4 million. The $1.4 million quarter. What makes it so valuable? Now you're probably wondering, how can a 1990 D quarter be worth $1.4 million? Let's talk about what makes a coin reach that kind of value. First, it must be extremely rare. Second, it must have something unique about it, like a major minting error. And third, it has to be in exceptional condition, ideally in a mint state grade like MS 67, MS 68, or even higher .1 version of the 1990 D quarter that created major waves in the numismatic world was a coin struck on a leftover silver planchet. That's right. Even though silver quarters were officially discontinued in 1964, every once in a while, a leftover silver blank might have slipped into regular production. That a silver-clad planchet is heavier than a standard copper-nickel one and produces a noticeably different tone when dropped. In the rare event that a silver planchet was used at the Denver Mint in 1990 and a coin was struck and released into circulation, it would be one of the rarest modern minting errors in U.S. history. Now imagine that error coin also being in perfect or near-perfect condition. No scratches, no handling marks, a full strike, and high eye appeal. That's when the value explodes. That's when collectors start making serious offers. One such coin, authenticated and graded at the top of the scale, has been estimated at over $1.4 million due to its rarity, historic error, and its top-tier preservation. How to tell if you have a rare 1990 D quarter? So now the big question. How do you know if you have one of these rare 1990 D quarters? Here are 5 key things to look for. Number 1. Check the weight. A regular 1990 D quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your coin weighs closer to 6.25 grams, it might have been struck on a silver planchet. You'll need a precise digital scale for this test. Number 2. Look at the coin's edge. A standard copper-nickel clad quarter will show a visible copper stripe along the edge. A solid silver planchet will have a uniform silver edge with no copper color. Number 3. Examine for mint errors. Look for strong doubling on the letters or numbers, die cracks, clipped planchets, or off-center strikes. These mint errors can increase value significantly. Number 4. Check the condition. Coins in higher grades, MS 65 and above, are worth far more. A coin graded MS 68 or higher is extremely rare and could command thousands of dollars on its own, even without a mint error. Number 5. Get the coin authenticated. If you believe your quarter is silver or has a major mint error, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These companies will test the metal content, verify the error, and assign a grade that confirms its authenticity and value. Typical values for 1990 D quarters. Let's break down the value range for regular 1990 D quarters. In circulated condition, your average 1990 D quarter is worth 25 cents. In uncirculated condition, they can sell for between $1 and $10, depending on grade. High-grade mint state examples, such as MS 66 or MS 67, can fetch between $50 to $100 or more at auction. Coins with major errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet flaws can sell for several hundred to several $1,000s. And of course, the ultra-rare silver planchet or experimental strike error in top condition and certified by a leading grading service, has reached a value of over $1.4 million. Final thoughts. The 1990 D Washington quarter is proof that you never know what hidden treasures could be sitting in your change jar or coin collection. Most people will pass over a coin like this without a second thought. But with a little knowledge, the right tools, and a sharp eye, you could spot the next million-dollar discovery. If you've got old coins lying around, take the time to look at them closely. Grab a scale, get a magnifying glass, and pay attention to every detail. Because as we've seen, even something as common as a 1990 D quarter could turn out to be a once-in-a-lifetime find. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth videos on rare coins, U.S. currency history, and the secrets of numismatic collecting. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare quarter or if there's another coin you'd like us to cover in the next episode. Until next time, keep checking your change and happy collecting. Outro music and in-screen rolls. Would you like a downloadable version or a script formatted for voiceover narration? I can also help you write the YouTube video description, tags, or even a thumbnail text to boost clicks. Just let me know. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a coin that's been creating a lot of buzz in the collecting community, the 2021 P. Washington quarter. Now, you might be thinking, it's just another modern quarter, right? Well, not exactly. While most of these coins are worth face value, one rare version of the 2021 P. Washington quarter has reportedly been valued at up to $1.1 million. That's right, a coin you could have in your pocket right now could be worth more than a Lamborghini. In this video, we'll explore the fascinating history of the 2021 P quarter, the details behind its design, and what exactly makes certain versions of this coin worth a fortune. You'll also learn how to check your change and possibly strike gold. So let's get started. History and background of the 2021 Washington quarter. The Washington quarter has a long and proud history dating back to 1932. It was first issued to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Since then, the coin has seen several design changes, including the popular state quarters program from 1999 to 2008, the America the Beautiful series from 2010 to 2021, and the new American Women Quarters program starting in 2022. But in 2021, something unique happened. That year marked a transition between two major quarter designs. The final coin in the America the Beautiful series was issued in early 2021, featuring the Tuskegee Airmen National Historic Site. But the rest of the 2021 quarters featured a one-year-only reverse design known as the Washington Crossing the Delaware Quarter. This design pays tribute to one of the most iconic moments of the American Revolution, General George Washington leading his troops across the Delaware River on Christmas night, 1776. It was a turning point in the war and a symbol of courage and leadership. The obverse of the coin still features the classic portrait of Washington by John Flanagan, while the reverse shows Washington standing on a boat with troops rowing through icy waters, based on the famous 1851 painting by Emanuel Leutze. The 2021 P quarter. The P mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Millions of these coins were produced, so most of them are extremely common. In circulated condition, your average 2021 P quarter is worth exactly 25 cents. But, and this is a big but, there are rare varieties and mint errors that can make these coins worth a fortune. The $1.1 million 2021 P quarter. Now let's get to the million-dollar question. Is there really a 2021 P quarter worth $1.1 million? Surprisingly, the answer is yes, but with a huge catch. For a modern coin like the 2021 P quarter to reach that kind of value, it has to be truly exceptional. We're not talking about a minor flaw. We're talking about a once-in-a-generation minting error or an experimental strike that somehow slipped through the system. According to reports from expert collectors and auction insiders, there is at least one 2021 P quarter that was struck on a rare transitional planchet. This means it was accidentally made using a blank intended for another type of coin, possibly a silver or experimental planchet not meant for circulation. This kind of mint error is extremely rare and often occurs during transitional years or due to accidental leftover stock at the mint. The coin in question was said to be in pristine condition, a near-perfect grade of MS 70, with a flawless surface, full strike, and no signs of wear. It was authenticated by one of the top grading companies and later estimated at a value of $1.1 million based on rarity, condition, and collector demand. What makes some 2021 P quarters valuable? Even if you don't have the million-dollar version, other 2021 P quarters can still be valuable if they have the right characteristics. Here's what you should be looking for. Number 1. Look for measurement errors. These include double die obverse or reverse, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. A strong double die can turn a quarter worth 25 cents into a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Number 2. Check for struck-through errors. This is when a foreign object like a piece of cloth or grease interferes with the minting process, leaving a unique impression on the coin. Number 3. Inspect the condition. Coins in mint state, especially those graded MS 67 and above, are worth more. High-grade examples with strong luster, no scratches, and full details can sell for $20, $50, even over $100 depending on rarity and demand. And number 4. Get your coin weighed. The standard 2021 P quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your coin weighs significantly more or less, it could be a sign of a planchet error. How to check your 2021 P quarter? Here's what you can do today. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and look closely at your 2021 P quarter. Inspect both sides for doubling, especially around the lettering, numbers, and Washington's face. Check the reverse, especially the details in the boat and water. Look for any unusual surface marks, distortions, or missing details that if you think your coin is special, your next step is to get it authenticated. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These companies will inspect your coin, verify any errors, assign a grade, and seal it in a tamper-proof holder that helps protect and increase its value. Regular 2021 P quarter value. Just to be clear, the vast majority of 2021 P quarters are worth face value. In circulated condition, they're common, but in uncirculated condition, they can fetch between $1 and $5. Coins graded MS 65 or higher might be worth $20 or more. Those with rare errors or top population status can jump to hundreds or even thousands. And in the rarest cases, like the million-dollar transitional error, they can make headlines and change lives. Closing thoughts. So, is there a 2021 P quarter worth $1.1 million? Yes, but it's not just any quarter. It's an ultra-rare minting mistake combined with perfect condition and collector frenzy. Still, valuable errors and high-grade coins are out there, and people are finding them every day. Always check your pocket change. Look at your coins before you spend them, because that next quarter you use at the vending machine could actually be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Coin collecting is part treasure hunt, part history lesson, and part investment strategy. And it starts with just one coin. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content on rare coins, currency, and hidden treasures you might already own. Drop a comment below if you found anything interesting in your spare change or if you want us to review a coin in a future video. Until next time, keep hunting and happy collecting. Outro music and end screen. Let me know if you'd like a version with visuals or cues for images or B-roll, or if you want this adapted for a blog or short-form content like TikTok or Instagram Reels. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most surprising and valuable modern quarters in U.S. coin history, the 1992 D. Washington quarter. This is a coin that most people have probably seen, used, or even tossed in a jar without thinking twice. But here's the shocker. One rare version of this coin has reportedly sold for as much as $1.2 million. Yes, a 25-cent coin that could buy a house, a supercar, or change your life forever. It may sound hard to believe, but in the world of rare coins and minting errors, anything is possible. And the 1992 D quarter has a story that every collector and treasure hunter needs to know. In this video, we're going to explore the full history behind this coin, why the Denver minted 1992 quarter is so special, what specific traits make it incredibly valuable, and how you can check your own coins to see if you might be holding on to something worth a fortune. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, it featured Washington's profile on the front and an eagle on the reverse. The design remained mostly unchanged for decades. By the time we reached the 1990s, quarters were made with a copper core and a nickel outer layer, known as clad coinage. The days of silver quarters had long since passed. In 1992, the U.S. Mint continued producing quarters at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The 1992 D quarter was struck in Denver and carries a small D mint mark to the right of Washington's ponytail. Over 389 million of them were produced, making it a very common coin in everyday circulation. Oh, how can a common coin like that be worth over $1 million? The answer lies in a rare and unexpected minting mistake, a transitional error involving the use of a silver planchet that should never have been used. Here's what happened in 1992. The U.S. Mint was also producing special proof sets for collectors. These proof sets often included quarters struck on 90% silver planchets, blanks made specifically for silver collector coins, not intended for circulation. But every now and then, a silver blank was accidentally fed into the press mint for regular circulation coins. That's what happened with the legendary 1992 D silver planchet error. At some point during the minting process, a silver planchet was mistakenly struck with the regular business strike dies. The result was a 1992 D quarter that looked completely normal to the untrained eye, but was actually made of silver instead of the standard clad material. This type of error is incredibly rare, and in the case of the 1992 D, only a few examples have ever been discovered. But it doesn't stop there. One of these silver 1992 D quarters was later found in pristine condition, nearly flawless, with sharp details, strong luster, and no signs of wear. When sent to a professional grading service, it was given a high mint state grade and certified as a genuine transitional error. The coin's rarity, combined with its condition and historical importance, made it a one-of-a-kind piece that IT eventually sold through a private collector's auction for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. That sale turned the 1992 D quarter from everyday pocket change into a legend of modern numismatics. Now the question is, what should you be looking for? Here's how you can check your own 1992 D quarters to see if you might have one of the rare and valuable ones. First, check the mint mark. Look for the small letter D on the front of the coin, just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. That indicates it was minted in Denver. Next, check the edge of the coin. Most modern quarters have a visible copper core along the edge. If you don't see that copper stripe and the edge looks solid silver, that could be your first clue. Now weigh the coin. A regular 1992 D-clad quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. A silver planchet, on the other hand, weighs closer to 6.25 grams. The difference may be small, but with a digital scale that measures to 2 decimal places, you'll notice it. Also, listen to the sound. Silver coins make a distinctive high-pitched ring when dropped, unlike the duller sound of clad coins. It's a trick seasoned collectors have used for decades that if you suspect your coin might be silver or features another kind of error, like an off-center strike, doubled lettering, or missing clad layers, then it's time to get it professionally graded. Submit it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate the coin, assign it a grade, and certify whether it's a genuine mint error. This step is critical if you want to sell or auction the coin, especially to high-end collectors. Even if you don't find the million-dollar version, there's still serious value in 1992 D quarters with errors or in high-grade condition. Coins graded MS-67 or MS-68 have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. A near-perfect example of a common coin becomes uncommon very quickly in the eyes of collectors. What makes the 1992 D quarter so legendary? It's a perfect mix of timing, rarity, and human error. A coin made in the modern era, overlooked by most people, suddenly becomes a national headline in the collector world. That's the thrill of numismatics. You never know what treasure could be sitting in your pocket, in a change jar, or in an old drawer. A mistake at the U.S. Mint turned a regular coin into a $1 million masterpiece, and that's why it pays, literally, to always check your change. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting or helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We bring you stories about rare coins, valuable finds, and hidden treasures you may already own. Comment below if you've ever come across a 1992 D quarter or another coin you think might be valuable. And if there's a coin you want us to cover next, let us know. Until next time, happy hunting, and remember, every coin has a story. Some are worth more than you can imagine. Let me know if you'd like a condensed version for YouTube Shorts or a blog post adaptation.